Alright, in this video we're going to be taking notes on section 3.2. We're going to be talking about infinite solutions. Infinite means sometimes we can say many solutions and no solutions. Right. In the two previous videos in 3.2 you talked about how to solve these systems either by substitution or elimination. All right, that's what the first two videos were covering. Now we're still going to use these methods, but now we're going to show you some answers where you'll come up with many solutions and no solutions. Okay. First one, if both variables, that's the key, both variables, in other words, all the variables, doesn't matter how many, if they're all eliminated and the equation is true, then there's many solutions. And if the equation is false, then there is no solution. All right, so what do we mean by true and what do we mean by false? All right, so let's go ahead. I'm going to use, if you notice, the coefficients are the same for both variables, so I am going to use elimination method. All right, so if I just go ahead and add, all right, I get 0, I get 0 equals 0, right? And on this side, 0 plus 0 is 0 equals 0. Man, I wish all problems were like this. Now you notice this side is equal to that side. 0 does equal 0. All right? Since both sides are the same, both sides are, oh, sorry about that, folks. Both sides are the same. That means the equation is true. So that means there are infinite solutions. All right? Infinite is the side words 8. Trying to start used to writing that because you'll be seeing that more often throughout the year. But also you can see many. All right? So that's an example of many solutions. Okay. All right, let's try another one. All right, so I am going to use elimination method again. All right, you'll notice that that's my favorite method to use. Okay, so what I'm going to do, what can I multiply by that can give me the same coefficient on both? Well, if I take 3, if I multiply that by 2, that gives me 6. But I want to multiply by negative 2. All right, so that way it will give me the opposite of positive 6. Now remember, this is equality, so what you multiply by this one, you got to do it by everything on both sides of the equation. So I got to multiply this by negative 2 and this by negative 2. So my new equation is going to be negative 6x minus 4y equals positive 2. Now I can just go ahead and keep this, all right, because I didn't do anything to it, so I keep that the same. You notice these equations right here, this one and this one, are exactly the same. They are just written differently, because whatever I do to one term, I do it to them all, so I do not change the equality of it whatsoever. So now I'm going to go ahead and add, which is the elimination method. So when I add, I get 0 plus 0, sorry, and then I get 2. Well, 0 plus 0 is 0 equals 2. Now these do not equal each other. This is 0, there's 2. They're not the same on both sides. So therefore, that means there's no solutions. Right? So if both sides are the same, infinite or many, if they're not the same, then there's no solutions. All right? Last one. We'll do an example. All right, so I'm going to multiply this one by 2, so I'm going to multiply this whole thing by 2. So I do it to everything. Well, the top we keep the same. Okay, bottom, multiply 2, so it'll be 2 times 4 is 8x. Oh, change that. Make that negative 8x because I want them to be opposites. Negative 2 times negative y is positive 2y. Negative 2 times 2 is negative 4. So by elimination, that gives me 0, that gives me 0, and that gives me negative 2. So I get 0 equals negative 2. Now, is this no solutions or many solutions? If you said no solutions, you are correct. Because both sides aren't the same.